Hey, Jim from Slick Audio. Again, it is July 3rd. Tomorrow being a holiday, we are closed the 4th and the 5th, and of course the weekend right after that. So, long weekend for Slick Audio, guys. Um, routing, audio routing. Very general overview, and I mean very. This is the 1,000 foot overview, folks. Maybe even the 10,000 foot overview, and we're going to be drilling down into this. I'm going to be drilling down into this a lot more, in a lot more detail going forward, and it's going to be predicated upon the questions that you all ask. And if you don't ask questions, then you won't hear any more about it. So, the first thing, obviously, is there are some groups that I like to categorize this in. And the first group is for the people that are not new to audio. They were analog guys, patch bays, etc., and are having confusion. I'm trying to be nice to us older folks. There's a confusion of making that switch from analog to digital and having physical routing to virtual routing. So physical routing being cables you're plugging into a patch bay versus the digital routing term, or area, realm, whatever. So that's kind of category one. I'll just say this quickly about it. It it is not difficult as long as you keep in mind that it's not analog routing, but it is very similar to. So think of it as analog routing on steroids. You can do way more. Think of Y cables that are not just Y, but you can go into a three-way or four-way or almost infinite levels of splits. And I'm saying almost. There are limitations to it, and it's just some really cool stuff. So that's category one. So if anybody wants to know more about that, be specific. Talk to me about the type of interfaces, and if you don't have a clue, then that's okay too. Just let me know if that's a topic that you want me to really start to drill down on. Area number two is for the noobs that have never touched any kind of audio before. So just general. Obviously, we're not going to talk about analog routing. We're going to talk about digital routing. And when I mean digital routing, specifically, it is specific to your interface. Obviously, I don't have everyone's interface in the world here, so everyone's going to be a little bit different. Focusrite handles theirs different than RME, which handles it different than Personas, which handles it slightly different than blah blah blah. Antelope Audio, etc. So this goes on ad infinitum, ad nauseum, if you will. For those of us who do this for a living. So, but still, if you understand the concepts of one, you can grasp the concepts of all the others. That doesn't mean that one can't do more than the other. It might. Some might do less than the other. I mean, cost has a lot to do with it, and sometimes it doesn't. But so that's really topic number two. Topic number three, or the third group I like to break it into, are the people who have never dealt with audio over Ethernet. Kind of a different. It is routing in the same sense, but we're routing over Ethernet networks. So there's networking concepts, as in IT networking concepts, that you absolutely positively must grasp before you're ever going to understand routing audio over Ethernet. IT folks typically have a far better grasp and quicker grasp of that, even if they've never touched audio in their life, because they understand routing. And when I've seen the opposite way. So don't get pissed off at me for this comment, but I'm going to make it anyway. It's typical for me to see audio folks getting into audio routing now and then pretending to be network experts. F off. You're not. You may think you are. You are simply not. You are touching the most basic routing in the IT industry. So do not think that you are routing experts, switch experts, firewall experts, and I know most of you are going to say no, we don't think we are, which is great. But the few of you that do, and I've seen a couple of very cocky ones, man, you're a joke. You're fooling yourself. So so do not insult anybody anymore. Audio guys, you really want to learn this. You need to really dive deep and understand Ethernet a lot. And not that it's super difficult. It's not. It's just there's a lot of memorization, and if you want to be able to diagnose quickly, you're going to have to work with general networking first, and then start to do audio over Ethernet. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. But now this video isn't for that. So I happen to be in IT. This is my 36th year in IT. Feel sorry for me now, by the way. If you want to send a condolence card or two, I'm okay with that. But it doesn't make me an expert either. 36 years in this industry, and I still don't consider myself to be a super duper expert. There are guys out there that do just switches all day, every day. That's all they've done for their whole life. They're freaking experts on switching. So you really have to take all this stuff with a grain of salt. And what I'm saying, even with a grain of salt, I would love to say that you can learn this in 5 days, and 3 quick lessons for the low price of $9.99. Not going to happen. Don't expect it to. That doesn't mean that you can't learn it. You absolutely can. You can become proficient. You can become, expert, but with enough, time, resource, and energy, and if you're willing to put it in. So, of those 3 groups, so we have the audio over Ethernet, camp, which obviously it's going to get really deep, really fast, and it's going to be very technical. We have the interface routing, and then we have for noobs, and then we have I'm working backwards now, and then we have the folks that are switching and need to understand audio routing from an analog perspective. In other words, they've never worked on a DAW. They've only ever worked on tape decks, be it digital tape decks or 2-inch tape. I've worked on it all. It doesn't make me an expert on all 3, but I've worked on it all. I've recorded on it all over the years that I've been playing. So I can at least give some, I think, very good help and pointer and tips to those of you who are in need of such tips. I'm going to cut the video at that. That was the general overview. So if you have specific questions, please email them to us, sales@slickaudio.com or slick.audio. Yes, we have slickaudio.com now. If you've noticed our new website, by the way, if you haven't visited, go. Slickaudio.com is the new standard, if you will. But we can we will entertain the various questions and try to round them up and categorize them, get them into the 3 categories and general buckets, and then break it down and do some videos for you and help you understand. So it would be a little bit more to the point, to helping you trying to get what you need, as opposed to me just saying boilerplate, well, this is it, done, move on, which is what you're going to find on most sites. So I'd rather answer your specific questions if I possibly can. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to, but again, I will do my best. So everybody have a very safe and happy 4th of July for those who are here in the States. If you are not here in the States, come on down and join us and have a safe and happy 4th of July with us. But no, have a great weekend and a safe weekend, and I will talk to you all next week. Cheers. I'm vacationing for a couple days. Be good.